Hey guys, Sushi Mancer here. As you've seen, the new Magic the Gathering Commander set when it came out. Um, it was Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, I believe. And in that, a lot of new legendaries were released where you could, instead of partner, you could choose a background and then you could form dual color commander decks using a commander with choose a background and then you could make it two colors or one single one and so forth. And in this, Cadira, Caller of the Small, was released. I'm very fond of commanders that generate tokens by themselves, like Torrents, and there's a few others that I can think of but not name, as I don't know the name yet. But in Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, Cadira, Caller of the Small, was released. She is a Celestia, one generic, one green and white Orc Ranger that has Trample and reads whenever Cadira, Caller of the Small, deals combat damage to a player, for each token you control, create a 1/1 White Rabbit creature token. So let's say you generate one token in some way or another, and Cadira deals combat damage to a player. You basically create a token for each token you control, which I think is very strong. If you have a one token, you create one rabbit, and then you basically can just swarm or go wide with a lot of 1/1 rabbit creature tokens. And in the deck, we're going to cover a few strategies that you want to achieve. One is ramp, like to ramp up to maybe get a turn 3 or 2 Kadira on the battlefield. First off, we have Paradise Druid, which taps for any color. We have a Seeker of Skybreak, you untap target creature. So you can either untap Kadira or you can untap another mana dork. So you can basically untap a Llanowar Elf once, and then you can tap Llanowar Elves for 2 green mana. Of Marble Diamond, that's a 2 mana artifact that taps for 1 white. Moss Diamond taps 1 green, same as Marble Diamond. You have Gift of Paradise, when it enters you gain 3 life, and you enchant land and it has tap 2 mana of any one color. You have Overgrowth, it lets a land tap for 2 green. Verdant Haven, when it enters you gain 2 life, you enchant land, and then you can tap when enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any other color to his mana pool. So you can tap a land for, let's say it's a plains, you can tap it for 1 white, and then you can add any other color. Omen of the Hunt, it lets you search for a forest, and it has flash. Fertile Ground, same as Verdant Haven, you tap and then it adds an additional mana for in any color. Arbor Elf, it helps you untap a forest. In this case, let's say you have Verdant Haven and Gift of Paradise onto a land. You can untap it with Arbor Elf, and then with the other thing that untaps creatures, you can untap Arbor Elf and then untap the land that you had enchanted. You have Avacyn's Pilgrim, taps for 1. It's a 1 mana human monk that taps for 1 white. Elvish Mystic, it's a 1 mana elf druid that taps for green. Llanowar Elves taps for 1 green, and that's it for the ramp. The other thing that the deck has is 1 infinite mana combo, because the deck is in Celestia colors. You have Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies. Devoted Druid, you tap for 1 green, and then you put -1/-1 counter on Devoted Druid, and then you untap it. And then with Vizier of Remedies, you can't basically, your creature, or let's say a creature you control, can't get -1/-1 counters. So you can infinitely untap Devoted Druid and use infinite green mana. And then another thing, because it's in green, you can have the combo Ivy Lane Denizen and Herd Balleth in the deck. Ivy Lane Denizen reads, whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then Herd Balleth, whenever a counter is put on it, you create a 4/4 green beast creature token. And with Cadira, let's say you have 4 Herd Balleth creature tokens, you can basically create 4 more rapid 1/1 creature tokens, but Overlane, Denizen, and Herd Ballad together form an infinite token generator. And then Cadira reads, for each token you control, create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. So first off, you need to have creature tokens already on the battlefield, and there's a few ways to do that. With Omen of the Sun, you create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens and you gain 2 life. It also has flash and you can sacrifice it to scry 2, so it's a good mana sink. Chatterstorm, you create a 1/1 green scroll creature token and you do have Storm. So let's say you play 2 spells on the same turn and you play Chatterstorm on the as a third spell. You can copy this 3 times. Queen's Commission, you create 2 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink. Wavering Temple is its power and toughness is equal to the amount of creatures you control, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you populate. So populate is you create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. Then Soul of Migration, it's a 7 mana 2/4 flying elemental, but you have evoke for 4, and then you can have it enter the battlefield and you create 2 1/1 white bird creature tokens of flying. Gather the Townsfolk, it's a 2 mana sorcery that lets you create 2 white human creature tokens on the battlefield. Join the Dance, I really like in this deck specifically. It's a Selesnya colored sorcery that helps you create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, and it has flashback, so you can flash it back for 5 mana. Torrents, one of the token generators. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you create a 1/1 green and white human soldier creature token with training. Selesnya Guildmage, it's a very good infinite mana outlet for the Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid combo, because you can create infinite 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Prison Captain, it's a 2 white human soldier that says whenever Captain deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. And that's it for the creature token generation. There's a lot of it in the deck because the deck functions with that specifically. And then next we have ways to deal with artifact or enchantments, or basically just removal of some sorts. You have Seal of Primordium, it's an enchantment that you sacrifice and you destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Emerald Charm, it's kind of a toolbox because you can untap target permanent, you can destroy target global enchantment, or target creature loses flying until end of turn. You have Piercing Rays, you exile a target tapped creature, or you can forecast it out of your hand and then you tap an untapped creature. So basically for 5 mana you can tap and exile a creature, but you will most likely want to exile a tapped creature. Foundation Breaker, you can evoke it for 2 mana and destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Disenchant, for 2 mana instant, white instant, you destroy target artifact or enchantment. Swift Reckoning, for 2 mana you can destroy target tapped creature, but if you have 2 or more instants and sorceries in your graveyard, you may cast Swift Reckoning as though it has flash. Return to Nature, you can destroy a target artifact, enchantment, or you can exile a card from a graveyard. So let's say someone wants to reanimate a very good reanimation target, you can basically exile it from the graveyard. Naturalize, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Oust, you put target creature into its owner's library second from the top, and then the controller gains 3 life. So you can play with momentum and let's hopefully slow someone down by putting it second from the top of their library. Cast Out, when it has flash, and then when it enters the battlefield you may exile target non-land permanent, or if you want to you can cycle it for 1 white and then you draw a card. Devout Decree, you can exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red and then scry 1 for 2 mana. In some cases it's good if people are playing black or red. It's black, I think, is a fairly common color, but it's also situational but still very good. Avenging Arrow, destroy target creature that dealt damage this turn. And it's an instant, so you can destroy anything that dealt damage. Let's say you block with a 1/1 a Llanowar elf, then you basically just play this and destroy that creature. Condemn, put target attacking creature on the bottom of its library. Each controller gains life equal to its toughness. It's a 1 mana instant that basically it gets rid of indestructible creatures or yeah, very good. I think I like this card a lot. Unravel the Aether is also very good against indestructible enchantments or artifacts. Celestia Charm also has some way of a toolbox function in this deck. You can buff a creature and give it trample. You can exile target creature with power 5 or greater, or you can put a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield. So this also helps with Cadira's token generation. Excellence Binding, for 4 mana you can exile a non-land permanent, and an opponent can't cast spells with the same name as the exile card. Tel Jalad Justice it's a 2 mana instant that destroys target artifact, and you get to scry 2. Reclamation Sage is a 2/1 elf shaman, and when it enters the battlefield you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. And that's it for ways to deal with enchantments or control the board. Next, I'm going to show you ways to protect your Kadira and your artifacts and tokens. First off, we have Autumn's Veil. So spells you control can't be countered by blue or black spells this turn, and creatures you control can't be the target of blue or black spells this turn. So you can basically, let's say you play Cadira out of your command zone and someone tries to counter it, or basically any spell that you cast. With Autumn's Veil, you can basically stop anyone from countering or targeting your spells with blue or black spells. You have Blossoming Defense. Target creature gains +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. So you can buff up a creature, or you can give it hexproof if you need to. And then God's Willing, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And then you scry 1 for 1 mana, so you can basically protect Cadira. That's it for ways to protect your board. Now next is for ways to dig for other combo pieces or just gain value. One is Shamanic Revelation. For 5 mana you can draw a card for each creature you control, and you gain 4 life for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. With Herd Balleth and Ivy Lane Denizen you can create a lot of beasts, and then you get 4 life for each beast token you generate. But you should be careful, because you have the chance to deck yourself. Like you can draw, let's say, 200 cards and then you lose the game because you draw from an empty library. You have Uncage the Menagerie. It's very good to search for Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies, because for 2 green for 2 green and X you can search your library for up to X creature cards with different names that each have converted mana cost X. Reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your library. So with this you can basically pay 4 mana, then you can search for Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid. Brutalized Exarch, for 6 mana you can search for a creature card, reveal it, then shuffle your library and put that card on top. Or you can put target non-creature permanent and on the bottom of its owner's library. Firewood Herald, when it dies you can search for an elf, reveal that card and put it in your hand. And one of the elves that you would like to search for is, where is it? Let me just check. You can search for Celestia Guildmage, because it is an elf wizard. So let's say you have Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedy on the battlefield. You can search for this and then create infinite 1/1 tokens. And then some toolbox shenanigans in the deck is Regrowth. For 2 mana you can return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Gaia Spacing, if it is mulled, you shuffle your graveyard into your library, or you can cast it to draw a card. Timeless Witness, it's basically Eternal Witness, but it's 4 mana, and then you return target card from your graveyard to your hand, or you can eternalize it by exiling this card exiling this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie human shaman with no mana cost. Then Odric Master Tactician, I really like this card. Like, I like Odric a lot. And in this deck, you basically use him to choose how opponents block and how opponents' creatures block and who blocks and how they block. And I believe you can say they don't block at all, and then you just deal combat damage. Lenore, Autumn Sovereign. It's a 4 mana 0/4 human noble that reads, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, draw a card. And it's a good mana, it's a good card drawing engine. Lambing Shaman, you shuffle any number of cards from your graveyard into your library. Benalish Marshal, other creatures you control get +1/+1, so you can buff up all your tokens. Ambush Viper, it's a 2 mana snake with flash and death touch. It's basically just a flash removal spell to block with and deal with very big targets. Dryad Militant, if an instant or sorcery card would put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. This is really good against decks, commanders and decks that uses spells, sorceries and instants from the graveyard. A little toolbox way to deal with stuff. Then for ways to deal combat damage with Cadira, you have more of the Skyclaves. It's a 3 mana equipment that when it enters the battlefield, you attach it to target creature you control, and then equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying and first strike. And you can also equip for 4 mana. Then you have Key to the City for 2 mana. You can tap it to discard a card. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn, and then when it comes untapped, you may pay 2 if you do draw a card. So this makes Kadira unblockable or any other creature unblockable, and then you can pay 2 to draw a card, which I think is very good to cycle through cards and make creatures unblockable at the same time. Then we have the land base. So the land base isn't just the one monocolor. We have a 1 copy of Evolving Wilds, Thermorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, and Thermorphic Expanse. Both let you search for a basic land and put them on the battlefield tapped. You have Blossoming Sands. When it enters tapped, you gain 1 life. Celestia Guildgate, and then we have 16 forests and 16 plains. And yeah guys, that is it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you watched it this far. I already own this deck in paper. I'm yet to go and play with it, but I think it will do very well. I really like commanders that generate tokens by themselves. But yeah guys, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you guys have a good week.